Here's the thing. I got a new deck I've been playing, and it's been pretty good. So to start, we're gonna review the deck list I've been running. So I've seen a few copies of this living in strategy floating around, and most of them have been running the 3 mana Violent Outburst, but also a 4 mana Cascade card. I have ditched the 4 mana Cascade card, and I'm going to talk about why. So basically, the issue with doing it that way is you leave yourself completely vulnerable to all interaction. And also to graveyard decks and basically everything. You're mostly defenseless if you incorporate the 4 mana Cascade, because that means you can't include 3 mana spells. And there's two very important 3 mana spells that are excellent in this deck. The first one is Endurance. This card is insane in this strategy. And the second is Force of Negation, which is also insane in this strategy. So this version of it focuses on a little bit more of a control posture. And let's actually do something like this. So we have less cheap cyclers, more control and like tempo cyclers to kind of stall the game a little bit. 3 copies of Living In, 4 copies of Violent Outburst. This is your combo. You don't want these in your hand. You want these. And like, honestly, we could potentially go down a land here. What are we at? 8, 10, 13, 14, 15, 16. But then we have Land Cycler, which is 24. And we also have a ton of draw and cycling. So yeah, let's do that actually. Let's go ahead and 1 mana Confluence, right? And that gives us one more slot to go ahead and run the 4th copy of Living In, because I do think having multiple copies of that is useful. We could also tweak it towards one more Force of Negation. I might do that. Do I not have? Oh, it's in the sideboard. Okay. Okay, yeah. I'm going to try running it like this set. So the idea of this deck is you have a bunch of creatures that you can basically cycle or channel or evoke to get effects that stall the game just enough to get to turn 3. And as you're doing that, you're building a graveyard full of creatures. And then once you have Violent Outburst, when you cast this, it's always going to trigger Living End, which kills everything on the board. So it's an instant speed board wipe for 3 mana, destroys all creatures. And then everybody's creatures that are in their graveyards go into play. So what I found when I was running this with the 4 mana Cascade spell is that we just lose against things like Reanimator a lot of the time. Anything that's like actually filling their graveyard is a huge problem for us. So 4 of Endurance, though, this fulfills a lot of conditions. We can evoke it for free as long as we exile a green card, which we have a fair amount of other green cards that we can exile. When we do, it's gonna shuffle somebody's graveyard onto the bottom of their library, and then it's going to die and go to our graveyard, which we could then reanimate with Living End and do it again if we need to. But this helps us fight through Reanimator strategies. It helps us clear people's graveyards when we're comboing, because we can cast this for free and then Violent Outburst into Living End after this dies, and we get it back and we exile our graveyard. And then the other thing that is a 3 mana spell that's insane in this is Force of Negation. So I haven't been super happy with this. I don't like this card in Historic. I think this card shouldn't be in Historic. I think there's an argument for Pact of Negation because you have to build your deck around it to get utility out of it. But Force of Negation is just kind of lame. Like, there's no reason not to run it in any heavy blue deck. So, but it's especially insane in this deck. Because usually the limitation of this is that it's not good at like protecting your combo or your kill condition because you're executing that on your turn. But in our case, we're executing our win condition on their turn at instant speed. So that means we can use Force of Negation to protect our actual living end cast, which is really, really good. It makes it much, much harder to interact with us in a meaningful way. So these are the reasons that I have dropped the 4 mana Cascade spell. In their place, we have 2 copies of Waterlogged Teaching. And just a second. Okay. So these basically form our pseudo 5th and 6th copies of Waterlogged Teachings. And we rely on the fact that our deck does a lot of churn. We have a lot of churn spells. All of these spells get us 1 or more cards. So that's 12, 15 draw spells. And these count as well, because these draw as lands. So it's even more than that. So that's kind of the idea here. We have a lot of churn. We draw into this. It's a 1-card combo. It gets all the stuff that we've been churning back from our graveyard. We're using our churn to interfere with the opponent's game plan and then try to go off at the end of their turn so that they don't have a chance to respond to our field of dorks. As far as the control pieces, I've got 3 twin shot snipers, so this does 2 damage on channel, and then it also does 2 damage when it comes into play, so you effectively get 4 damage out of this if it gets reanimated. The other thing to note that's like really enjoyable about this deck is like almost nothing we do is casting a spell. The only spell cast we care about is Living In. Everything else except Wistfulness is uncounterable. You can't counter this because this is an ability. We've got Colossal Sky Turtle. This bounces a creature for 1 in a blue, or gets us a card back from our graveyard. Can potentially recover Violent Outburst if it didn't go off properly or anything else. It's all instant speed, and it's also a 6/5 body in the graveyard when it comes back with Ward. Wistfulness. So this gives us a chance at fighting through Graveyard Hate, because this can destroy artifacts and enchantments for 2 green. And when it enters, if 2 blue was spent to cast it, you can draw 2 and then discard, so it's more churn. If you evoke this, it dies and draws and discards, so this can potentially put 2 things in the graveyard. Likewise, Waker of Waves can also put 2 things in the graveyard. You channel this to look at the top 2 cards of your library, put 1 in your hand and the other in your graveyard, so this can also put 2 bodies in. Then we have 3 Column, which gives us like an alternate win condition if we're getting shut down against like control spells that's hard for them to deal with. And then this is just a pure cycling creature, but it's a good body. It's a 5/5 with hexproof, and it cycles for 1 blue. So it's just like a draw card for a blue and put a body in the graveyard. And that is it for the like spells that you cast as a part of the game. These are also lands. Then we also have, this is another fun part of this, is that we actually make use of the mountain and forest cycling cards, which means our mana fixing is very good, and we can run a low number of lands. And still, like, these are like pseudo lands, right? Like, you pay 1, you get a land. So that's pretty much it. I've been having pretty good luck with this. What is this? Hang on. Let's do this. Okay. All right. So yeah, that's the deck. Let's take it out for a spin. I do think this deck, if not top tier, it's like close. It's pretty good. It's at least an A plus, if not like a S minus. See if we can do better. Okay, that's better. So put one violent outburst back. Hope we don't get Thoughtseize. Okay, we want to hit all our land drops here for sure. Perfect. Perfect. Okay. So we channel these two, and then we hold up Violent Outburst and just try to combo off. I could also Sky Turtle. No. We may just make the opponent repeat their turn. What's this do? Okay, there we go. And let's just hold an open posture here. Let's wait a little bit. I think we're safe right now. Alright. Now we're gonna go off because it's lethal. And it going off at instant speed is such a fucking... This is the game. That's all she wrote. And that's how it goes. We just like... We can kind of rope-a-dope a little bit. Like, again, it's not a full control deck. We don't have the ability to, like, grind somebody out with our control spell, our control magic. But for the most part, like, most of it is also not counterspellable, so we can kind of fight back against those decks by just channeling stuff. Channel spells, and they just sit there with a bunch of counterspells in their hand, and they can't counter any of it. And then we hopefully hit, like, Living End, and then um, force a negation, and, like, find an opportunity to go off. Okay. just thinking. Okay. I don't like seeing the living end there. Okay, endurance. It's pretty good here. Should I? I think I. What are the odds we just get wombo comboed next turn in one hit? Probably pretty low. I think it's time to cast. Oh no. Okay. We'll just have to do it with Waker Waves. Um. Yeah, let's not let him do that. There we go. So, if I Wistfulness, he's just gonna replay the Valkyrie next turn, probably. And yeah, alright. Okay. Alright, Mr. Opponent. Here you go. Right. And there it is. Okay, that's exactly what we wanted to see here. Um, so the great thing about this deck is we can kind of take our time here. We don't expose anything to like any possible surgical extractions, even though we don't do anything with this in our hand. Okay. And that's how it goes. Let's see. No. Too many living ends in hand. What the fuck, man? This sucks. We desperately need to hit a land or a cycler. Okay. Pretty sure we lose. Yep. There's no sense in scooping here since we're a one card deck. Like, there's no pressure. Oh my god. You gotta be kidding me. Yeah. Yeah. That is the game. That's what happens when you have the mulligan to 4. Not enough fodder. I'd rather have a hand with no fodder. Or with fodder than... Probably bounce the Tameo here. Emery, huh? Emery's actually fine. Yeah, Emery is fine. We have double endurance. We wait for him to tap the Emery to try to grab something and then endurance him. And they can't just beat us down with flyers either. With endurance, they have to deal with it. Best draw is Living End. Okay, that's not Living End, but it's also not terrible. Um, I might have to channel this endurance. If he cracks that Drix and tries to get it back with Emery, I'm gonna crack it. He's gonna want to get the Drix Interlacer back. Oh, we're dead. That's a bummer. Um, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, we're dead. Alright, that's cool. Can't stop it at this point. Affinity is tough for us. Well, no, it's tough for us if we don't. If we had Living in there, we would have been fine. Living and everything as the. Well, we actually would have been. If we'd had it like way earlier, like from the get go, we would have been fine. Nope. Negative. That's a no. We can work with this. I'm gonna tap that next turn to stop him from getting a Karn. This probably. Perfect. Love it. Okay, now we're in pure card draw mode. Probably in trouble here. Ooh, that's helpful. Okay, Force isn't a terrible draw here. Would have been nice to have last turn. 10 mana. I doubt this is going to be relevant. Hmm. Alright, bro. Come on. So, I think we're gonna... I think we're gonna use Sky Turtle to get back Waker. Probably. I mean, sure, use all your timeouts, bro. How about that? Oh my god. Never didn't have it. Yeah. Handle this. Alright. Alright, we got this one. Got him. I feel like we had a couple unlucky games in this set. Like, we had a mole to, like, one lander, and then Affinity, which is, like, the nuts. Affinity's probably our worst matchup because of main deck 4 Tormod's Crypts. Mulligan that one because we didn't have the mana base to support the cards we had. This is doable. Um, I do this. Run it like this. Perfect. I play Waker here. We see the same amount of cards, but we actually want to be discarding things, so this discards one more. Then, or actually, it's the same. It would be the same. All right. Against is it? I think it's actually the land. Might end our run here. If we find living in, we're probably fine. I think we can take one more hit, hopefully. Yeah, I think that. Ah, fuck. That's gonna hurt. Oh, alright. I'm gonna cycle first. Because we did have a potential. Um, we could have hit the shock. Oh, it's so good. Alright. Um, I'm doing it here. I'm gonna play around Spell Pierce. I don't think he can get past our wall after this. Just hold up endurance. GG, buddy. Yes. And we're just chilling, holding up endurance. Got him. Got him, got him, got him. Nice. Pull that one out by the skin of our teeth. Alright, alright. So we're at break even point now. I think that was when, what, 4? So we break even at least. We should be in good shape then. Yep. We'll take it. Now, it'd be really nice if we draw into a blue card for this Force of Negation, and this would be about perfect. Hey, we did. What colors do we need for Wistfulness? He's gonna play the... probably green then. Just thinking. Yeah, we're gonna do it like this. Alright, so we've got an on-demand graveyard elimination here. And we can also kill his dork. Going empty-handed is good against this deck because of Jessica's Will. It makes it net negative mana. We want to eat this raw. Is this lethal? 6, 11. It's not quite lethal, which is not good. But I think we have jammed him up quite a bit. The Jessica's Will does nothing. Why would you do that? What? Okay, fair. Play artist talent, dude. And plays Striker Rich. Ooh, now I want to hold that. No, no, no. The treasure's not going to make the difference. We need cards. Alright. Throws away Wish. This is mana neutral, though. He didn't level his artist talent up. He should have leveled his artist talent up before manamorphosing, probably. Mana neutral. Alright, what's the last card? Is this gonna be Storm to just kill my creatures? That's kind of what the vibes I'm getting. Yeah, okay. I mean, he's completely gassed after that. So, like, all we need is to hit one card. And we have a lot of churn. I don't know. I mean, I guess he could come back potentially. What's the last year of this do? Just makes it deal more damage. Waterlog Teachings is good here. Gotcha. Gotcha. Hey, we're in the black. Making that money. Now, even if we lose, it doesn't matter. We made back our entry fee. I'm hoping we can do better. God damn it. If it had a land cycler, I'd take it, but it doesn't, so I can't. Best I can do. That was a good draw. Alright, I actually like this hand against this player. So he's gonna do this. Yep. Next turn we'll tap it down and grab a land. Heist me, huh? Okay. Alright, so do we force interaction here? We could. Gotcha. Good. Love the fatal push. Yeah, so we're kind of in control here. He has to make a move at some point. As long as we're drawing cards and getting land and crap in the graveyard. Eventually we'll draw into a force of negation. Taking this hit. go. Do we fight on his upkeep? I think we do. It's on the stack still, brother. That's a bad sign for him. So he has to hit a force from my deck. Let's see if he managed to do it. Okay. Sure. Alright, so we take 6. But we are going to get a go off here. I mean, he could have more force negation, in which case we're fucked, but this is our shot, so... Got him. Oh, shit. See, I was feeling defeated around right here, and now I'm like, we're gonna win this whole fucking thing. We had a couple bad luck games up front. $16. You can do better. On the draw, I'm going to take this. It could go badly. But we do have turn 1 draw. And assuming we can hit a second land, we can cast these. Ooh, that's a hard choice. We want the land. Ah, I should have taken the counter spell. Oh well, it's alright. We can take a control posture. I do have lands, by the way. At least 2 more, enough to cover this many fields. Um, How about that? Oh my god, that's sick. Okay. So, like I said, now we can take a control posture. We got force back up. Got him. That's a 7. Ka-ching. Alright, so, yep. This deck is pretty good, guys. I don't know how long it's gonna last. I kind of feel like this one might catch a ban. Alright, so I got about 15 minutes before I start coding. So I'm gonna play a few games. We'll just play a couple ranked games. Oh, by the way, I got to like rank 200 with this deck. It's pretty good. It's also fun into control decks. But kind of miserable into affinity, admittedly. I'm gonna keep this. Artifacts. What is it? Okay. I'm thinking. I don't want to discard the living end, or I mean, I guess the violent outburst is already in the graveyard. That's a little annoying. So Let me see what I want to do here. I could shuffle everything back, but I don't think that's the move. We're just gonna hold the endurance. Hmm. Really? The frog. Okay. Play the frog. Okay. Fatal blow. Okay, one down. Kill the other one? Nope. Nope. Guess not. Um, there's like kind of arguments to do this both ways. So he's got one of these. I've got one of these. Yeah, we need to make it juicier. There's a chance we can still hold up force. Think endurance is more flexible. Okay, draw four, put two back. Best draw would be a blue card. If we get a blue card, I'm pretty confident we can win the outburst. I don't care about plotting stuff here that much. I mean, Valky's annoying, don't get me wrong. Cameo. But yeah, best draw is definitely a blue card. Oh, you done fucked up, my man. You have made a mistakey. No attacks. Pack the Valky. Got him. All right, I think that's gonna be it for now. Let me ban this bot real quick. And I'll be back here in a bit. I'm gonna do some coding. Some code reviewing anyway. Later.